And here we go. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today, we're drinking bourbon. And here we go.
You said that part already.
I know. I like it. I want to do it again.
All right, what's happening, everybody? We got a few folks in the chat here. People that actually read the post and saw we were going on a half hour later than our usual.
Oh, I thought we weren't going to mention that.
Live time. Of course we're mentioning it.
Oh, okay.
Because they noticed it. I mean, if
Yeah.
everyone who's watching knows it's 6:30 right now, so.
I mean,
you know. Anyway, so yeah, we've got Tater Dom, Piper John, Peter White. Who else do we have in the chat?
You know what I don't have?
What?
I don't have any bourbon.
No bourbon. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're actually going to drink. We've got a couple of samples here. We recently did.
I guess we don't have to start with those. We could do a.
Yeah, why don't we do like a control bourbon?
Or, well, one of those half-killed sample bottles that wasn't great. So no, not a unicorn.
Well, this one was pretty good. Here's the Still Austin cast strength.
Okay.
Try that out. All right. Ryan Frank is in the house.
So Ryan's normally late. Maybe he likes the later starting time.
Well, that's what we're kind of.
Yeah, we're going to ask you several times now.
Yeah, we're kind of wondering, like, we noticed that the live streams, when we do them 6 to 7, a lot of people show up at like 6:30, and I don't know if that's because of where they live or what time they get off work or whatever, but it seems like there's always that uptick. And so we were kind of wondering if maybe it would be beneficial to go a little bit later, do a 6:30 to 7:30.
So we're giving that a try.
Yeah.
And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah, William Hall is here. What's happening? William Hall. So yeah, we figured we'd do the 6:30 to 7:30 tonight. Again, we do have some samples of Nashville Barrel Company. We actually just did a review of one of the regular releases from Bike Riding Brian Vaughn.
It's interesting.
These samples are from Bike Riding Brian Vaughn as well. So you're traveling a bit into the future with us tonight, because in the video that's not going to come out until Monday, we reference that we should probably drink these in a live stream at some point. So here we go. That's the kind of excellent timing and scheduling you get with the Bourbon Note. I'm going to go for a little more of a traditional. You can kill that if you want.
Okay. It's Texas, and you don't like Texas.
Well, I like Texas.
Yeah, I understand.
I just don't like their whiskey.
The bourbon selection as a general rule.
Here we go. Okay, so this is another one from Bike Riding Brian Vaughn. This is one of the Elijah Craig blends. So I'll start out with that one.
Okay.
This one's proof down, I think he said, approximately like 115 proof or something like that. Oof. So anyway, let us know in the comments what you guys are sipping on tonight. Hopefully something good. So I do have a little bit of information about these. So we can get to that when,
we'll get to that
when we get to it.
Yeah.
So we talked last week about whether or not maybe bourbon was dying a little bit, or the hype, because you're starting to see like Booker's sitting on the shelf and stuff.
Yeah.
I saw they had a Blanton's release at Sam's Club, and I'm sure it's sold out right away because I actually happened to stop in there that day and didn't see them. But they were on there for $55.
Wow.
And I know that it's Sam's Club, and they're not going to charge secondary or anything, but I found that very interesting. And speaking of Blanton's, if you're a Patreon subscriber,
earlier today we posted
tomorrow's video, which is Blanton's versus Blanton's. It's the Blanton's Takara Red, the Japanese only release, versus just the regular old American release.
You fool.
What?
He's drinking foolproof.
Jeremy D. Biasi, new to the chat. Hi, everyone. Sipping on Benchmark Foolproof. Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, so Jeremy, we want to know, any chance you happen to be from Sacramento?
See, I work for a company that works for your company, Ben. You know how late it can get. Yep. Purposely abbreviated. Yeah, for sure. So Ryan Frank likes the 6:30 start.
Okay.
Now we obviously try to like figure out what other whiskey channels are going.
You do
live. Yeah. I do put some effort into that, because we're not trying to like step on.
Well, Jeremy, have you ever thought about moving to Sacramento? I think he could do well there. It seems to be a pretty nice place.
Jeremy, if you're new to the live streams, that's Greg's inside joke.
Yeah, and nobody knows what it means. I haven't
Ohio.
even told Ben. So.
Well, I wasn't aware you even knew what it meant.
Well, I kind of grew up around Sacramento, and for a brief period from like maybe 3rd grade to 6th grade, I lived in Sacramento.
Oh.
So I've been there a bit, but...
We should just start calling this channel Greg Has Lived Everywhere, because it's
Mostly,
like I learned a new place that you lived at one point. You know, like every
yeah,
like 3 live streams.
Yeah, well, that just means I'm old, unfortunately. And I moved a lot.
Yeah. OG Brick is in the house. What's happening? Anyway, so what I was saying is that we try to coordinate, but there's so many shows that go live that you just can't.
You just can't.
You're always going to be going at the same time as somebody else. We try to coordinate with the friends that we have that we know, you know.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Otherwise, they're just...
And I know that Hello Again Whiskey Friends goes live at 7 on Wednesdays. I don't know them personally, but they do a good job. And so, you know, we're not trying to like step on that or anything, but we kind of figure if there's a little bit of overlap, I know we kind of generally have the same audience. And so, yeah, it's just kind of it's a little bit of an experiment.
Redwood Empire Pipe Dream cast strength today.
Nice.
Wow.
We have some of that here, I think.
The Pipe Dream one?
Yeah, I think we might have killed that. We got that in a sample. OG, have you cracked open your 10 Mocha Stave makers yet?
It's a unicorn. You save that till
for the special occasion.
Special occasion, yeah.
I'm just gonna adjust something real quick here. Entertain the internet for just a
like
moment.
it wasn't prepared.
I just feel like it's I don't know if it's the. Oh, your light's not shining at you. That's the problem.
What?
We need more Greg. No, shining directly at you. There we go.
Now I'm blinded.
I know, I was going to say, I looked directly into it. I can't read the chat now. Sorry, sir, I have not.
Do not apologize for that. It's terrible. The expectation that you have for it at this point is only growing. It's not terrible. It's great, but...
It is really good, actually. I have my Maker's BEP and 2 other private picks open. Nice.
Wow.
ATM, I'm assuming that means at the moment.
No, it means Adam.
You think so?
Yeah, his name's actually Ben, not Adam.
That's true. Waiting for a bottle kill before opening the Mocha. All right, well, let us know when you finally do what you think of it, because we're dying to hear. Because, I mean, that's something that nobody else has
it is
outside of Minnesota.
It's a unicorn of a unicorn, although it is a barrel, so there's several hundred bottles.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a really good one. That's interesting. Bike Riding Brian Vaughn, if you happen to watch the replay, I haven't seen him in the chat yet. This Elijah Craig blend is great.
Now, was this one he did?
Yeah, so he was saying that he likes Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, but he prefers it around the 115. So he actually took Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs and then proofed it down with regular Elijah Craig. So he didn't water it down. He just proofed it down blended with a lower proof.
Does he know math?
Apparently
so
he doesn't.
94 plus 128 is not.
Yeah, it's not a lower proof.
Yeah, it goes up, not down.
Yeah, that's true. There's like 218 or whatever proof exactly. Bourbon that he made is great. So yeah, apparently Bike Riding Brian Vaughn does not know bourbon note math.
Yeah, calculator Brian Vaughn.
Calculator Brian Vaughn. That's Ryan Frank. Dual show mergery, that would spread channels like the common cold. Well, we do tend to do a lot of that, and speaking of which, we're doing that again next week.
You are?
Yeah, because we have an episode of the Whiskey 6 next week. We have Whiskey Road joining us, so that's going to be awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so looking forward to that for sure. So yeah, go check out at the Whiskey 6 if you haven't signed up or subscribed yet. Let me see if I can get the thing on the screen.
Do you have a desktop with the logo or something?
There we go.
There
Bam. So yeah, go look for that handle on YouTube. If you search just the Whiskey 6, there's a bunch of other stuff that comes up because the channel's not big enough yet. Mm-hmm. But I'll leave that up there for a minute here. If you've not purchased in the past, you get French maintenance seed. Mocha Stave is only available to grandfathered purchases, meaning if you for Mocha Staves in the past, you can again. Okay, interesting.
Really?
Oh, so Haskell's will always be able to repurchase the 10 Mocha Stave profile.
Oh.
I knew that once somebody did a profile, they retired it from everybody else. I didn't know you could repurchase
I didn't
it.
realize they could keep their recipe though. Because I actually bought it quite a while ago, my original bottles, and then we saw it again. So that must have been another barrel of.
I wonder. Yeah, I was kind of wondering if like they had another.
Or they did 2 of them at once and they held on to one. So that makes sense.
Or they just held on to a few cases in the back.
Yeah.
Or, another store had cases or something like that. Yeah, the French Mendiant or Mendaint or however the hell you say that replaced the French Mocha.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense that maybe a store can redo their original pick. Because, if you pick something you like.
Yeah, I would certainly hope they would redo it. But that would take the unicorn status down.
Oh, well, it's still a unicorn. It's still a bit smaller unicorn.
We'll have to talk to the good people at Haskell's.
The Haskells.
So here's the other thing. I wanted to put this into the chat, and I would love to get...
This is a power you have. Use it for good, not evil.
Right? Okay. I'll switch to something else, something more appropriate. So we've done like some sample giveaways and stuff for like, a Whiskey Trivia Night in America and things like that. A lot of channels will do sample giveaways like, for the Patreon, spin the wheel. And if you're not a Patreon, if you donate like $5 in a super chat, you get your name on the wheel a few times or whatever.
Okay.
Is that something you guys would be interested in us doing here at the Bourbon Note? Doing like sample giveaways or even like maybe a bottle giveaway or something like that? Because it seems to be a pretty popular thing that people do in live streams and we just don't ever do. Like we never end up doing our like milestone celebration video.
Yeah.
When we do these live streams, it's like last minute. Like when Greg came over, we had, obviously you can tell, nothing planned.
Well,
Just getting on here and hanging out with you. So, a Haskell's only uniform Sugar Kitty is in the house.
Sugar Kitty.
Ryan Frank would be into the drawings for giveaways. And Ryan Frank is a patron, so thank you, Ryan Frank. All right, let's get into. Do you feel like you've got, or are you going to kill that and then we'll get into the Nashville?
Yeah,
okay, I'll do a little bit more of this just to keep the general theme going. I would like to send you some samples and have you try them. That'd be sweet.
That'd be awesome. Reach out on, I think there's an email address.
thebourbonnote@gmail.com.
There you go.
Yeah, it's really awesome when people do send us samples because a lot of times it's stuff, like these happen to be ones from a local, reasonably local, about a half hour away from us store.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Nashville's local to us.
No, it's just these are Ace Spirits picks.
I see.
So, but it's nice to get samples from, stuff that we can't get, different parts of the country and stuff like that. So
like we just did a review of Blanton's, which, big surprise, it was Blanton's. But we also compared that to, we have a viewer who sent us a sample of Takara Red.
Yeah, the Japanese
Blanton's
only.
It gets sent all the way to Japan.
And from what I could tell, I think the only difference is they put a little bit of Japanese writing on the label.
And it may have been slightly extra aged, but it wasn't noticeably different. And the thing that was really unique, and you're going to see this
in the video. Yeah, video comes out tomorrow. It's available now for Patreon, but it comes out tomorrow.
Yep. Is that happened to be both bottles, the Takara Red and the bottle of Blanton's you actually had the exact same dump date.
Yeah, so what are the odds of that? Dumped on the exact same date. 6 samples, all Malort. Yeah. I actually saw a Malort.
If it's not cast strength, it's not even worth it.
Oh, God. Can you imagine like 120 proof Malort? I've never seen Malort in Minnesota. I've never probably gone to the section.
I actually have no idea. Yeah, I don't even know where it would be in the liquor store and what it looks like. But
I saw one that was like a gift pack and it had like a glass with it or something like that. Blanton's is owned by the Japanese. They handpick the best barrels, I think. Well, spoiler alert, we did not find that. But for the 18 people watching right now, we'll give that away.
We found it to be very much like the other Blantons. And again, that's not really a slam on Blantons or a compliment. They were very similar.
Let's see. Benjamin Cook. I've looked into sending samples a little while back, but it seems like it's relatively not legal. Have you seen or heard of anyone in Whiskey Tube getting a slap on the wrist doing it? I have not. And when I say sending samples, I mean sending them via hand delivery.
Of course.
That's what we say here at YouTube. For a hand delivery of samples. I've never sensed All right. I have never sensed a show without a docket. You guys must be that good. Well, you know what, Ryan Frank? We're trained professionals here at the Bourbon
Docket?
Note.
What's a docket? Is that
You know,
what
like on the docket. You know, like a schedule.
Oh.
Like courts.
Oh.
We'll say, like,
Well,
they'll
he's
have
from
something
Minnesota.
on
I
the
assumed
docket.
that was some sort of pontoon boat reference, and I just don't know it.
Oh. Hector Torres. Hello, guys from Massachusetts. Hello to you. Get some, like a few new people in the chat tonight, or at least people commenting that.
Sure.
I don't know
So
if commented before.
Jeremy, you want to tell them about the wild turkey that you picked up at the international release? It wasn't Canadian, it was international, but...
Let's see. Have you had the Canadian wild turkey rare breed that is non-chilled? Yes, that's actually... It's not Canadian, it's a duty-free only, or at least...
That's the one you got.
Yeah, maybe there is a Canadian version. Yeah, I have it right here.
So yeah, he picked up a couple of those bottles when you were traveling internationally.
So it looks like this. It might be kind of hard to see. I don't want to throw our focus all off, but...
Focus.
Yeah. So this is the rare breed, barrel-proof, uncut, unfiltered. So non-chill filtered, it says on the label, but...
I thought we reviewed that. So that
We
particular
did.
bottle's not open. So you must have bought a couple of them.
Yeah, I killed the other one. I bought you one, didn't I?
Yeah, I think I had one.
Yeah. Yes, that's it. Any different? Yeah, it says it's travel only. I think it said on the box.
Yep. I thought we...
Is it any different than the regular wild turkey barrel proof? Is that what you're asking, Jeremy?
No, the rare breed. And I thought we did
The rare breed?
feel it was a little different.
And I
Like, it
sent
was
samples to most of that liter bottle that I killed.
hand-delivered.
Well, yeah, were all hand-delivered samples to either, winners from Whiskey Trivia Night in America or other channels. But yes, we thought it was different than the regular rare breed, and everybody that we sent it to said it was different, and everybody said that they liked it better than the regular rare breed.
And we personally happen to really, really like rare breed as just a everyday, like, available kind of bourbon. And it was unique and awesome.
Sugar Kitty's talking about Malort. It's in the liquor section. It's a wormwood liqueur like absinthe.
Of course it's going to be in the liquor section. It's only sold in the liquor store. Or at least
Liqueur section, the liqueur store. Peter White, if it was Canadian, I'd have a case instead of none. So yeah, it is. Crack that open. If you're a fan of regular rare breed, the rare breed uncut, unfiltered, which again, I said this before. I think maybe I don't know if it was in the review or if it was in a live stream, but like. It doesn't cost you money to not chill filter the whiskey, I don't think.
Look, it's the marketing department.
Why don't you just make the regular...
It's not the bourbon department, it's the marketing department.
Yeah.
And that was the one card they had to play that day.
Yeah, no kidding.
We're going to not do something and then put that on the label.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. Thanks, I will have to pick one up when I get to Niagara Falls. I enjoy rare breed for a daily pour.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really good. Hopefully they have it at the Niagara Falls one. Speaking of Niagara Falls, our friends over at Bourbon School, I've been meaning to ask him.
Because he's close to it. He's in Buffalo,
why
New
he
York.
doesn't just run up to the border.
He's not allowed.
He's not allowed in Canada. Brian is not allowed in Canada.
I can't back that up, actually.
Well, I'll be on a private live stream with him tonight.
Oh, have fun
So
with that.
yeah, I'll figure it out and find out why he doesn't go to Canada to get his whiskey. So that'll be the planning stream for next week's Whiskey 6.
That's amazing. Wait, you guys do planning for that show, but we don't do planning for this show?
Yeah, we actually plan out topics and...
Well, I guess you do text me, and then we do text and stuff like that occasionally.
Well, we'll plan out like, hey, do you want to do a proof points or
Yeah.
do you want to do a flight of this or that? But half the time we're just shooting from the hip like we are tonight. The Wild Turkey 12-year is a nice travel exclusive also. Yeah, I was looking for that and
We just had a sample of it, and it's great.
Let's see, trivia question. What was the whiskey bourbon advertised in multiple commercials this year for the 150th Kentucky Derby?
Oh, I know the answer to this.
Take it away.
I didn't watch the Kentucky Derby.
But you know that Woodford is the...
So I do know that my parents, who just moved to Florida a year ago, 2 years ago, they watched the Kentucky Derby, and I think they went to a friend's house and actually watched the Kentucky Derby.
They dress up like weirdos?
Well, they are always. it'd be notable if they dressed up as normal people. But anyway, my dad sent me a text and said, "What do you know about Woodford?" Because it was just a commercial. So I'm assuming it was Woodford, and you can't throw a dead horse around the stream of Kentucky Derby without seeing bourbon commercials.
I like the way you put that. I usually go with the you can't swing a dead cat reference, but you can't throw a dead horse without. How far can you throw a dead horse? You're moving off a screen almost.
Oh, no, it's the camera. It's on wheels.
It is on wheels, actually. It really is. Let's see. I love these Woodford Derby bottles. Is there anything different about them?
It's just painted horses.
Look, there's Brian. We can ask him why he's not allowed in Canada.
So,
Brian, we were talking trash about you earlier and you missed it.
So should we bash 13th Colony or should we be nice about 13th Colony?
I don't know why we bashed them. Did you ever get your bottle that you ordered?
I did not. First of all, I ordered a bottle. And secondly, there's disagreement about whether or not they're producing their own juice or not. And
so Jeremy says, do you have 13th Colony in your area?
So
Grab the straight bourbon and rye in Kentucky. Both are good for the price. Yeah, we've had the distillery actually sent us samples. They
sent us samples, and we thought it was great. Then there's a bit of controversy over whether or not it's sourced or not, and I'm not sure to this day.
Which, no problem if it's sourced, but their website would lead you to believe that it's their own distillate, and I think that's why people were getting a little upset about that.
Because it's their double-barreled one was like whiskey of the year. It's amazing, but they're not honest about where it came from, I don't think. Or not clear.
You need a catapult to throw a dead horse. Sugar Kitty, dead cat. I heard that. Okay, Brian said he just went to Canada last night. All right, Brian, did you pick up any duty-free stuff? Because Jeremy in the chat was talking about going to Niagara Falls and seeing if he could score a wild turkey rare breed unfiltered. So let us know if, I'm assuming you went north of where you're at towards Niagara Falls,
Catapult,
maybe?
Dead Horse, Monty Python.
Oh, is that a thing? I've never really gotten into the Monty Python movies.
So then we build a giant wooden rabbit.
Is that a Monty Python thing too?
It's a reference, yeah.
I don't know these things. Apparently, I'm not in the know. You might need
a trebuchet
for a dead horse. Oh, the thing just switched. No, didn't stop. It was late. We were at a concert.
So how was Bryan Adams?
I'd go see Bryan Adams. Everybody puts on a killer show.
Or Celine Dion.
Oh, you're going with the Canadian angle here. Okay, gotcha. Right over my head. That's my fault. Okay, let's get into these Nashville Barrel Company.
All right, I need a new duck.
Okay, so this one, Bike Riding Brian Vaughn sent in the information. So these are 2 store picks from Ace Spirits, a fantastic liquor store.
Local here in Minnesota.
Yep, go check them out. So this one is called...
I've offended the Brian with the...
Not even once.
I mean, Bryan Adams isn't that bad. I mean, honestly.
I don't think he's that bad.
I saw him once, but that was like 25, 27 years ago.
Okay, so the one on the right is going to be a single barrel 8-year straight bourbon, 118.5 proof, distilled in Kentucky, and another Ace Spirit store pick. It's said to be basically a Booker's single barrel. So apparently maybe they sourced this from Beam or something like that.
Okay.
Or maybe it's just supposed to be comparable. And it's been named the Castle Batch by Ace Spirits. And then the one on the left is going to be straight bourbon without any age statement, 110.56 proof, distilled in Indiana, so presumably MGP, Ross and Squibb, is a store pick from Ace Spirits. My favorite MGP so far. Wow, okay.
Wow, that's fighting words.
I need another glass here. You can get your left.
Is this my, okay.
Yep. And we're not like, we don't need to pick a winner or a loser. We reviewed, he sent along also like one of their standard releases.
Well, to be honest, I think at this point, Brian would be the winner or loser. Because if we're not impressed, then we know that he's a very bad taster.
You think that's it?
Yeah, bad taste.
Well, I think Ace is known for having some pretty good store picks.
Yeah, I'm guessing they're going to be amazing.
Let's see, a band called the Trans-Canadian Highwaymen. Oh, yeah, okay. Sort of a supergroup made up of 90s Canadian legends. What's
the Highwaymen? No, isn't that Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson?
Yeah, I think so.
Waylon Jennings.
The Trans-Canada Highwaymen. I don't know why you had to bring their gender into it. I mean, you could have just said the Canada Highwaymen, you know.
Do you think they're going to rename it? Yeah, it's too modern.
I don't know.
You got to know the temperature of the room, Ben.
I tried. Woodford sends you stuff. You boys are in the big leagues. Applause from the massive crowd. Me.
The problem.
No, it wasn't Woodford that sent it to us. It was 13th Colony.
Yeah, I mean, everything from Woodford's going to be 90.4 proof because that, I think, is the only temperature that they...
Except for their batch proof stuff, which is always something 0.4.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just rinse the glass here a little bit.
So, all right, anybody who's older and knows a little bit about country music, there is a band called the Highwaymen.
Yeah, I think it's Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson,
kind of like a super
Waylon
group,
Jennings.
right?
Yeah, kind of not a regular thing. Chris Christopherson was an actor.
And country star.
And then a fourth.
Didn't he actually write Me and My Bobby McGee?
I don't know. But so there's a Canadian version called the Trans-Canadian Highwaymen. So for Canadian, maybe, folk/country singers.
So Canadian, it's going to be Bryan Adams, Celine Dion, Adam Sandler.
No, who's Alan Thicke.
Well, Robin Thicke is a musician as well.
But Alan Thicke actually was a musician a long time ago. No, Johnny Cash. I don't think he was in it.
Well, yeah, Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, Chris Christopherson,
Really?
Waylon Jennings. And Wamong Jennings. Brian's into the bourbon. This whiskey 6 planning stream should be fun tonight, which I will be able to hop on, Brian, for a little while. So I will be there this time.
So I am a little bit curious. So who are the real Canadian highwaymen? Because who's the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald?
Holy God, that's good. That's Gordon Lightfoot.
Okay, so there's one folk Canadian singer. He's got to be in the Canadian highwaymen.
Okay. Did he say Canadian folk singers?
I'm assuming. I just associate maybe older '90s Canadian music with folk. I could be totally off there, but
Lightfoot is dead. That's true, but maybe they replaced him.
Well, yeah.
Stephen Page, Craig Northey, Mo Berg, and Chris Murphy. I don't know who any of those people are.
Unfortunately, that could be the worst joke in the history of the world, or the truest statement ever, and I have no.
Shout out to John Prine. He wasn't Canadian, was he?
I don't even know who that is.
You don't know who John Prine is? Oh, I love John Prine.
Who?
Died of COVID. He's a folk singer from back in the 70s. I had a chance to go see him in Duluth a couple of years ago.
Like a hippie, 70s
kind of
Bob Dylan.
Kind of a Dylan sort of
in that, okay.
Vibe. Yeah, a little bit.
Maybe, yeah, okay. I think I couldn't name a hit or anything like that from him, but maybe sounds familiar.
You have heard some John Prine songs because you've heard me play them.
Oh, okay.
Down at Jay's that night, we did that benefit. You came down, and my friends and I were playing music down there. Members of
Sweet Tart,
Sloan, Bare Naked Ladies, Pursuit of Happiness, and Someone Else. Is Someone Else the name of the band, or does he just mean someone else that he can't remember?
Somebody I used to know.
It's a very typical Canadian joke.
I have no. I don't think I know Sloan. Bare Naked Ladies obviously was a '70s super band for a while. Maybe 2000s.
No.
When were they?
Yeah, they were 2000s, 90s.
Yeah, maybe late 90s, but 2000s.
No, they were definitely 90s.
Yeah.
90s, then into the early 2000s when they were kind of popular.
Yep.
God, these are really good. Have you tasted these yet?
The first one's amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm getting Sweet Tarts off the first one.
Really? I thought BNL were still together. They're touring with Toad the Wet Sprocket not too long ago. Speaking of 90s music, Green Day and Smashing Pumpkins are playing Target Field this summer.
You're kidding.
Yeah. And with Rancid, too.
I don't know Rancid.
They're like a punk band from the 90s.
Yeah, I can see that.
But so get this, that weekend, so Metallica's coming to town, playing US Bank Stadium, and their show on this tour is a 2-night show.
Okay.
And it's a 2-night show and there's no repeats. And so that weekend in Minneapolis, Friday night is Metallica at US Bank. Saturday night, it's Metallica and Pantera. Saturday night is Green Day, Smashing Pumpkins, and Rancid. And then Sunday night is Metallica again with Five Finger Death Punch.
If you're into
So Kai and I are looking to maybe get a hotel for 3 nights in Minneapolis.
I think don't do the drive because that's Pantera. Do you think it'll be Metallica and Pantera or Pantera and Metallica?
Pantera opening act.
Okay.
I mean, Metallica opening act Pantera with Zach Wilde on guitar in place of Brian Bag Darrell. Yeah.
Metallica is going to open?
No. Pantera's going to open.
Okay, that's...
I got that mixed up. Benjamin Cook, Pantera. Yeah, I mean, you can have Zach Wilde. When you had Zach Wilde filling in, I don't know who's filling in on drums, but...
I honestly don't know a lot about Pantera. I know I've heard a few songs, but...
Peter White's a shadow of Pantera, maybe. You know what? I'm getting the sweet tart on that, actually.
These are really, really good.
Yeah.
There's something about this Nashville Bourbon Company or whatever they're called.
Nashville Barrel Company.
Barrel? Oh, wait.
Yeah.
They don't make bourbon?
No, they just make the barrels.
Oh. Well, that's disappointing. But the whiskey, however they get it, is good.
That is not accurate information, by the way. Just so everybody knows. So is anybody... Was it the odds in each other? I'm back on this whole band thing. I didn't know anybody in that except for the Bare Naked Ladies. So I don't know if that just makes me less cool.
I don't know.
In which case, I mean, it doesn't take much.
So you mean the Canadian, that list of possible Canadian?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't recognize any of the others.
Might be closer to call it down to Zach. Well, I mean, they still got Rex and Phil. Definitely less cool. Okay. Brian confirms that definitely makes me less cool.
So who did... Okay, so I totally missed it. Oh, he went to see some, like, the Trans-Canadian Highwaymen. That's who Brian went to see. How were they?
But if it's the Trans-Canadian Highwaymen, wouldn't it be like the Trans-Canadian Highway...
The original spelling.
She, them, they, he.
No. That means they have members from all across Canada.
Oh, okay.
That one road that Canada and the United States actually helped build.
I totally missed the reference. I'm too plugged into the culture war.
Yeah, it's been called something else it's been called that for a really long time. I've even driven part of it from...
The Trans-Canadian Highway?
From Alberta up to Alaska.
Oh, nice.
And part of it's gravel. Would you believe?
Phil in down, so just call Zach a replacement in down. But people are really opinionated on the whole Pantera thing. Sorry I brought it up.
I just don't... Well, I don't know enough about him to offer an opinion.
Buffalo Bourbon Enthusiast is here. What's happening? Cheers.
So do you think that's a single person who is using a S inappropriately, or is that a group of people, all of whom agree when they say cheers, guys?
No, but they're a channel.
Oh.
Out of Buffalo, New York.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, I'm doing the blend here.
Oh, wait a minute. You're doing Tennessee and Tennessee.
Well, no. Kentucky and Indiana.
Indiana.
I mean, the distillery is out of Tennessee. I've witnessed Prince drive by me in a limo in downtown Minneapolis. Nice. That's awesome.
There's so many jokes.
Well, hit me with one of them. I've got the rim shot all ready.
It would be an insult to Ryan, but I mean, there's the cardboard sign reference. He could have been...
Could have been just a cardboard sign.
Or I can't even say it.
Maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it.
Look at that. Buffalo Brothers, New York and Minnesota. Jesse Erickson, what's happening? Scored a Stag 23C, cracking it here if the Wolves make the finals. Nice. So I'm not a basketball fan at all, but that is kind of all the talk around Minnesota right now. The Wolves are like knocking on the door of the NBA finals here.
Really?
Yeah, so do they have one more game against Colorado? Is that what it is? And then they move on to the next round, and then it's the finals after that.
Oh.
That goes to show you how much I know about basketball.
That's significantly more than I. I am anti-modern culture.
Boy, jokes just out of the park tonight.
They weren't that good.
So that's kind of all the talk around Minnesota. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, wait. Scored a Stag 23C.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. He's going to crack it if the Wolves make the finals.
Ah. Well,
Mikey Likey Whiskey, late to the party. Cheers. Well, Mike, we were just texting with you before we went live. Where you been?
So, like, out of his comment, you focused on the sports instead of the bourbon? Your priorities are misaligned.
Well, because he said when he was cracking the thing open, you know.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just messing
I am
with
intrigued by the 23C. I hope that's good.
you. Yeah, no kidding.
2 more to sweep the semis. Okay, so they have to. So is it?
It's impossible to say. Nobody knows
Have
the
they
answer.
won 3 against? I think they're playing like Denver.
Nobody knows the answer to the question.
Don't get ahead of yourself, boys. Had to pick up a plethora of asparagus and have dinner. Okay. Asparagus. Did you just have a ton of asparagus for dinner?
So, Mikey, did you pick it or just select it? Because coincidentally, today in our house, we did a lot of food prep, including a lot of asparaguses.
Food prep, like canning or something?
Well, just putting them in containers so it's in the fridge, easy to make dinner.
Oh, okay,
So
sure.
like cutting up and getting like chicken and
Like
other stuff. Like
meal prep.
meal prep. Yeah, that's all.
Non-bike riding Dave Vogelsang is here.
Well, I thought he was non-calculator, Dave Goldstein. He's going to have to go back and watch the replay.
It's so funny. It wasn't even a reference to him, and he's getting wrapped up in it too. Dave, this could be a turf war now because we're drinking samples from bike riding Brian Vaughn.
Yeah.
So semis, then conference finals, then finals. You're right. Okay, good. Wrapped it in bacon and cheese drizzled over it. Oh Lord, hold on a second.
That sounds amazing, by the way. If we're talking about...
we still talking about asparagus?
Yeah.
Why doesn't Dave Vogelsang ride a bike? Just got back from bourbon hunting and dinner with Major Zero. Oh, nice. Where did he come down to Illinois, Dave, or are you out in his neck of the woods? I can't remember where he's from.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought he was out east. Wait, I forgot to use my bicycle riding profile tonight. No worries. So, Dave, non-bike riding Dave, are you going to be in the bourbon hunting video then with Major Zero? I am in. Dave is somewhere.
He's going to make us wait for it.
Here, let's. I thought there was a. Where is Dave? I am in yes.
Unfortunately, there were several questions asked between the time of the question and the answer.
Or maybe Dave and Adam just stopped at some bars on the way back from bourbon hunting.
Yeah, and feel free to not answer because you don't have to...
Oh, he's in Memphis. Okay, good. There we go. Buffalo Bourbon Studios, everyone's pee smells after asparagus, but not everyone has the ability to smell it.
Unfortunately, there's only one way for you to know that definitively, and I don't want to know the results of why you now know that.
It's an everyone thing. I will be in one of his videos. That's awesome, Dave. Sweet. So Ryan, Frank, we've actually told this story like the last 2 live streams, but we'll tell it again real quick. So the samples we're drinking are from a guy named Brian Vaughn, and then there's Dave Vogelsang. And back when we first started doing live streams, they both would comment quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And one night I got the 2 of them mixed up. One of them had sent a comment or something like that, and I referenced. Oh no, I was referencing the bike riding channel because Brian Vaughn has a bike riding YouTube channel.
Yes.
And I said, and I thought it was Dave because I got the 2 V last names mixed up. Again, this is just when we first started getting like regular comments.
Yeah.
And then so. I got Dave mixed up, and I thought he had the bike riding channel. And then the next time he commented, he said whatever it was, and he said from non-bike riding Dave Vogelsang.
And the funny thing is that's been a bit of a thing for the last 3 years, and at this point, Dave's actually considering buying a bike.
I don't know about that.
I
refuse to believe
That's what we said before, and it must be true.
Let's see. Everything is better wrapped in bacon with cheese. You're from Wisconsin, too.
Yes, he's from Wisconsin.
Picked up a Stag 23C Eagle Rare handle and Old Dominic single barrel start. Nice, that's a good haul.
That is a very
That's
good
2
haul.
people tonight that have said they picked up a Stag 23C. So there must be a
bourbon drop.
A drop, yeah. Let me see.
It's right there.
Yeah, it was Jesse. Okay. Nice, that's awesome. Found a bottle of Old Forester single barrel rye yesterday. Gonna crack it now. Is that the barrel proof, or do they make a lower proof one, like a 100 proof one?
Have we ever had a rye from Old Forester?
I tasted their basic rye one night down at Muffy's.
Yeah, it doesn't sound familiar though.
So just before we started the channel, they used to sell, it's an Old Forester 100 proof rye.
Okay.
For like $25. It's just the rye version of the Old Forester 100 proof.
Sure.
And then they quit selling it in Minnesota for a couple years, and now within the last year, it's come back. And so, yeah, they've got that around now, and it's actually good.
Do you think it tastes like banana bread? Maybe it tastes like asparagus.
I've had it. It's so let's do this. We'll drink some Old Forester rye.
I don't like.
And then you need to do, Greg. You got to do it for science.
No, Jesse's volunteered.
We'll send samples out.
He's the resident nose,
and
evidently.
you can get some snivs in and let us know. Let's see. Deb was at a whiskey tasting without me and bought a bottle of. Is that Barman?
Bowman, maybe?
It looks like it says Barman. Hold on, the chat's starting to move. I hate it when that happens.
That's right.
Now you know what will be in the sample boxes.
I bet it should be Batman.
She did try it before she bought it, but may have been feeling good. Okay, nice. Sometimes it's hard to read the comments because they're far away. Our monitor is like 10 feet away. Let's see. Barman is a Coors product, right? Picked up 2 Eagles as well. 2 different stores one day.
Wow.
Apart, everything local, yes, in Minnesota. Nice, that's awesome.
Amazing.
I believe both have released recently. It's kind of weird. Like, I have a feeling Eagle Rare is going to start showing up more. You know?
So, do you think they'll change the name of it?
To like Eagle Fairly Common?
Eagle Regular?
Damn it, I moved away from the thing. You know, I had the thing all set up to... I screwed it up. There it was. It's just a delayed gratification. Jeff Castle is here. What's happening? Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening to you.
Howdy, howdy.
Sarah K says, hi, Stinky. To whom it may concern. Well, hello, Smelly. Tell her I said what's up.
Smelly.
That's an inside joke.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Warehouse K, immediately I have a store pick that's fantastic.
Nice. Hey, speaking of store picks, do you want to crack open one more sample before we get out of here?
No. Of course.
Okay. So this one is from... This one's from Mikey Likey Whiskey.
Hey, Mike.
I believe, correct? Mike, you sent us this Wittermeyer Specs pick. Barrel proof, uncut, unfiltered. I thought... the one thing about... I have so many sample bottles down here. And some of them are half drank, you know, because some of them we'll keep around because we want to compare it to something else if it's a bottle we can't get regularly. But sometimes, after it's been like 6 months or something since we got the samples, I have to just look at the label and try to figure out who it is that sent it to us, because like, oh no, about to ruin your night. Oh, why, is this bad?
Well, don't tell us anymore.
Mike, don't say anything in the comments. We'll let it be a surprise. Or maybe it's going to ruin our night because it's so good.
Yeah.
Considering everything else he sent us,
Well, yeah.
I don't think he would have... Well, maybe that's why he would have sent a bad one, because he sent us amazing samples.
Yeah, everything else has been amazing.
I entered to win an Old Forester 1924 at the Wright County Whiskey Club.
Did you win?
Tasting. I did not. You would have heard about it by now. You would have immediately gotten a picture to the first person I told.
I didn't even know that there was one. I missed it.
No, I told you about it. It was a Scotch tasting one. You had something going on that night.
Yeah. I didn't realize you could win a bottle there.
Yeah, they were raising money for a charity. But anyway, so who of you have had the Old Forester 1924? Because we have not had it. Obviously, we probably never find it.
I'm sure it tastes...
I think it's 100 proof, but I'm hearing very, very differing
So
opinions
it's 100
on
proof,
it.
but it's high age, right?
10 year.
Yeah.
Hence the name, the 10. Well, I suppose I didn't say. I said 1924. I didn't say.
Right.
But yeah, that's the 10-year version.
So it's just 20. I mean, Old Forester's good. They have very good mash bill, but it's just their normal stuff at 10-year, which would be nice, but I don't know if that qualifies as true.
Whew.
Unicorn.
So that doesn't smell like bourbon. That smells like a single malt.
What's this called?
Uncut. It says Whitmeyer's Specs Pick. I'm assuming that's a store, is it like some weird Wisconsin grocery store or something? Barrel proof. Whitmeyer's is probably the brand. Specs is maybe the store.
Okay.
Barrel proof, uncut, unfiltered, 110.7 proof.
Okay.
That cannot be bourbon.
That's apple juice.
Yeah, that's I think it tastes like a single malt or smells like it. The 1924 is great if it was priced like the rest of the Whiskey Row series.
Yeah, $65 it'd probably be great.
Yeah. 10-year and 150 has got to be out of the park good. Yeah, I realize. Specs is the store. Okay.
Yeah.
I have enjoyed it. Came in second in a 4-way blind. It beat out Cooper's and Knob Creek 9, but lost to a local bourbon. Interesting.
Never heard of local.
Man, this has got...
This reminds me of something, and I know it's not like it exactly, but it's kind of like that Stranahan's Cask Strength.
It's got single malty vibes.
So okay.
I have mowed my yard.
Mikey Likey, is this from the Scotland or is this an American? Do we know that? Oh, they could do it.
This smells like something else we've had, and I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, I think it's from Colorado.
Hatfield Barbecue, what's happening?
This is a Colorado one.
This has got a little bit of a sweet tart or like a candy, like Nerds or Sweet Tarts or Sprees or something. American single malt, okay.
Which is
Look at us.
That's the most generic description ever. It's good. It is really, really good.
Oh my God. That's so different on the palate than it is on the nose. That comes across as a little smoky, actually.
Yeah.
Like a little peat or something.
Like, it may not be from Stranahan's from Colorado, but it's in that style.
I don't think the palate is.
No, there's been several.
Well, you said not to say anymore. I'm good. I'm glad we got to guess. We got it right that it was a single malt. Yeah, this is all apple and like sweet tart style candy on the nose. God, there's something else we've had. Like this is bringing back a vivid memory of another whiskey, and I can't put my finger on
was American peated single malt. I forget which one it was. Like the Campfire.
Oh yeah, the High West.
High West.
Yeah, that's not it though. That's not what. I can't figure it out. This is really interesting. Thank you for the sample of this.
This is really, really good. I like this more than your average Scotch, and I know this isn't Scotch.
But it's a single malt.
Yeah.
You know.
This is much more interesting and has a lot of complexity. It's clearly not a bourbon, but I like this a ton. If this is at a reasonable price and kind of available, I would absolutely buy it. But it may not be at a reasonable price.
I'd like to fire up a cigar with this and see how that.
It'd be awfully hard for you to light a cigar with this, I think.
It just keeps getting better and better, folks.
A lot of friction, man. I'm just saying.
Trying to light my cigar. So, Mike, can you give us, now that we've...
Yeah.
It's actually really chocolatey. I'm with you on that, Mike. Definitely some chocolate, like cocoa.
A lot of
chocolate.
barrel influence. I don't know if it's a char influence, but a lot of oak.
Tons of chocolate on the finish.
Yeah, I would agree.
But that first sip that I took was, I really was, just kind of threw me off kilter because it was so different on the palate. It's from your favorite state even. Is this from Texas?
Seriously?
Because this is pretty good. We've actually had a single malt from Texas that we liked. Yeah, I like this.
My favorite state is not Texas. I mean, I was born in Texas, but I don't even know what my favorite state is. Probably liquid.
I think he's joking because we hate Texas whiskey so much.
Yeah, I think so too, but I was going to...
All right, Mike, give us as much information on this as you can. Just a little bit more. Yeah, totally with you on the chocolate. Almost like an artificial chocolate. I remember there was these, when I was a kid, there was these things you could get at the health club. They're called mass fuel bars. So we used to get like a membership to the health club when we were kids.
Okay.
And you could go down and you get like a sports drink, and all they had was like these protein bars and stuff that all just tasted awful.
Yeah.
But we'd buy one anyway because, of course it was going to give you muscles and whatever.
Okay.
And they had these things called mass fuel bars.
Yeah.
And they were like this thick. It wasn't even. I don't even know how to explain it's like a giant Tootsie Roll almost, like
Sure.
that kind of texture. And this kind of has Tootsie Roll vibes actually.
A little bit, I think.
And that's the same kind of flavor. It's like that artificial chocolate. Favorite state, I would assume to be Minnesota. No.
No, not at all. It's in my top 50 probably. Actually, that wasn't a joke. That was hand on heart honesty there.
Hand on what?
Heart.
Oh,
Hand on heart on it. Oh, sorry, I hit the microphone.
that was just simple math then on your part.
Exactly.
All right, we're gonna get out of here soon, but not until Mike gives us all the information we need on the where'd it go?
Yeah, that one.
Whitmire's specs pick.
Whitmire.
Yeah, what was the other? We had another. I think maybe Baker Drink sent us another Texas single malt that we actually liked. This might be Mike.
Somebody did. I remember someone sent us a.
Last name or first name, Ryan? Hit me up. I'll let you know. Okay, let's see. Yep, Texas only. Houston Specs was able to pick up a barrel, first ever that wasn't distillery only. Yes, artificial. Brock's chocolate. Oh yeah, sure. Was my note. Think around 120 per. Oh, you put on the thing here on the label what the 110.7. So then Whitmire's must be the brand, I'm assuming. Stopped in at B&R Distillery this afternoon.
B&R.
Picked up a Blue Note Juke Joint, uncut, unfiltered.
But you're in Memphis,
shirt.
right? I think he's in Memphis. He confirmed.
What's B&R? Is that? What's the? I'm familiar with Blue Note. Maybe they're underneath a different umbrella name.
B&R probably stands for Ross and Squibb.
That's exactly what that is. So, well, Dave, you'll have to send samples of that out to
No, but we've had
Bourbon
Blue,
School
we've had
because
Blue Note. Yeah, they're the enthusiasts for the Blue Note.
Yeah, they hate it.
That's my point.
Yeah, so Brian sent us some generous samples of Blue Note uncut, unfiltered, and we actually liked it.
I thought it was perfectly fine.
Myron over at Bourbon Drop, he likes it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brian and Lauren both absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe it was just a bad day.
so Dave, we'll be interested in hearing your thoughts on that one.
Wait a minute. Is it Blue Note and you're in Memphis? Is that a music thing? Dun-dun-dun.
I would imagine, yes. Were you looking for the...
No. It wasn't really that. It was more like a bass line, kind of like just like...
Whackity smackity doo. That's from a thing.
Oh.
Whitmire's Distillery is a craft distillery in Houston. They do a bourbon, moonshine, and vodka. Well, look at that. Another Texas whiskey we like.
Well, yeah, it's a whiskey. It's not a bourbon, but...
Yeah, they do. So I think that's 2 for 2 on...
Wait a minute here. Mikey, this is not a bourbon, it's not a moonshine, and it's not a vodka. We've got ourselves a lack of information.
Oh, Ryan, I didn't know you were asking for your comment. Okay. Ryan was asking how you prefer to spell Gregory here. So, trivia question. How many states had Gregory lived in? I went over your head and just guessed Gregory would be okay. Okay, I'm going to guess based on what I know about you.
I don't think it's as many because I moved a lot in the same state several
Okay,
times.
well, I'll guess. Okay, so I know you lived in 1, 2,
Go ahead and
3.
list them.
So you lived in Alaska?
Air Force, but yes.
Yep. But you lived there.
Yeah. For 5 years.
California?
Yep, grew up there basically.
Texas?
I was born there. My dad was in the Air Force, and we weren't there long.
Did you live in Idaho? Mm-hmm. Idaho? Okay.
Coeur d'Alene, yep.
There's still more?
There's one you wouldn't know about, but even I don't remember it.
Florida? For a little bit in your...
In the Air Force career.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
So,
I think that counts, because that was when you
it
and Leah
does.
first got married, right?
yep.
Or did she live there because you were
No.
over in Afghanistan?
Well, both. Yeah, that's true.
okay.
But,
So 5. I got 5.
yep. Technically, I lived in Illinois, but I was like 9 months to 1.5 years old when my dad was in the Air Force, and he was like getting out of the Air Force and went through Illinois to California. So that doesn't really count. And then I took a job when I lived in Idaho and moved to Oregon for a little bit to like help out with the company I worked
How long?
for. 6 months. Yeah, lived in Eugene, Oregon for a while the company was like closing.
I don't know if I'm
offices.
counting that states lived in. Did
Yeah.
you get rid of your other residence?
Well,
Like, did you sell a place or
No.
break a lease or whatever and move there? And okay.
I mean, yeah, it was very temporary, intentionally temporary, and then I went back to Coeur d'Alene, so it's kind of temporary.
Okay.
So that's kind of it.
I nailed that.
Yeah.
Dave says, at BBE, you mean my bottle of Blue Note is trash. He said, you may need one of Troy's stickers. For reference, we do actually have the trash pallet sticker. There's some up there, like in a stack.
Was that where they came from? I didn't actually know who sent these.
Yeah, it took me a second, but you see the Baker Drinks logo? So the trash pallet joke, which we've joked about before,
Yeah.
and remember in one of the live streams I was saying I couldn't remember where that came from.
Right.
I knew it was somewhere in the general
Sure.
whiskey community that we're kind of part of, but I couldn't remember if I had just seen somebody say it or if we were on like a group live chat with somebody.
Sure.
And then I remembered and it was on Troy Baker Drinks Instagram. He put a clip up there of saying that Laura had a trash pallet. I was like, that's where it came from. We got some trash pallet stickers in the mail, and I didn't see the logo right away, and that was before I figured out where that reference came from.
Hilarious.
So yes, now that I have that information, it came from Troy at Baker Drinks.
Yeah.
So, all right, well,
All right. Thanks, Ryan. I'll meet you sometime down at Hayes.
I have yet to meet you in person, but I respect you for serving. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm sure you'll cross paths at some point. If
Yeah.
not, Ryan, I still need you to come over here and look at my outlets. I don't know what happened with them. They've got to be connected to a GF somewhere, but I've looked at every other outlet in the house to see if there's a GFI that they're tied into, and I've got nothing.
Wow.
But I have randomly in my bar 3 outlets that quit working. Everything else that's on the same breaker still works.
That's weird.
3 outlets just quit.
Do you have an outlet on your porch? Did that one get tripped?
I don't know. That's a good question. I didn't check the outside outlets.
Because they're on the same wall that could be it. It's that little plug-in thing that tells you if it's live or not.
Yeah, that's why I bought it.
Yeah.
Huh, Greg might have just figured this out. Would a outdoor outlet be like a GFCI protected?
I'm pretty sure mine are. I don't know if
Really?
the
Okay.
GFCI is on the outside outlet, but it would trip even if it's one of the inside ones had the little test and reset.
Yeah,
button.
none of the inside ones have the test, or at least all the ones that have it, I've tested it and tried it and tripped it. Porch light is on, but no one is home. Hanging AZ was in the house. GFs hang out in the weirdest places until you find them.
Yeah, exactly.
I have one that's out in the garage. Yeah, I checked the one because there's an outlet out in the garage that some of these are tied into, and that one, when that one trips, these will go out.
Yep.
But these are not everything else. It's like everything else in the entire basement. And the basement is broken up into like 2 separate ones.
Yeah.
One's tied in with the garage and another one. So we'll figure it out, but I'm guessing this is Ryan texting me about that. All right.
So
Mike sent a picture of the
Oh.
Whitmire, so we'll take a look at that. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. That's been about an hour, so bathrooms, kitchen, outside outlets are supposed to be GF. Okay, I have not checked the outside one. Bob Glass, GF is probably outside. This is awesome. I'm going to be so excited if this fixes this problem.
Yeah, I think
because the other outlet, that one went out, and the other outlet outside is right above it.
Okay, so I know that we have this joke we always do on the channel, but I'm actually asking this question
that
seriously.
we always do?
Well, me.
Okay.
Bob Glass. I don't remember him being in the chat before, do you?
I'm not sure.
Any chance you're from Sacramento? And in this case, I may actually think I know Bob Glass, because I know a Bob Glass who lives close to Sacramento. But the odds of it being the same Bob Glass are low.
That would be hilarious if it was, though.
Yeah, it would be hilarious.
Amateur electrical always ends poorly. Yeah, exactly. That's why if I have an electrical issue, I'll just harass Ryan.
After, what did we had? You've had 3 bourbons? Yeah.
Well, I mean, 3 small.
3 samples, but yeah.
Yeah. very small pours. I'd certainly within the frame of mind to start taking apart electrical stuff, even though I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Many basements need GFI, 2 that are close enough. The water service comes in. Yeah, these are all tied into something.
Okay,
sure.
first of all, Bob.
You asked me 3 times now.
In my defense,
okay.
This is my.
I was gonna say, like I said, I'm not sure because I know we don't hear from Bob all the time. So, but I was thinking, I remember back when we were upstairs in front of the green screen, I thought I remembered a Bob Glass, but I couldn't remember. Well. Sorry, Bob. You got to comment more. You have to be regularly in the chat.
So yeah.
Otherwise, our terrible memories.
Yeah. Maybe start every sentence with reporting in from Missouri or something,
Well, I don't think we'll forget now, but at least now he had
faith,
pre-knowledge of your inside joke of asking everyone in the chat if they're from Sacramento.
Okay. Oh yeah.
All right, before we get anyone else's name wrong, we're gonna head out of here. But thank you guys very, very much for tuning in to the live stream here.
And if Brian, you're watching.
Yes, thank you, Brian, for the samples of the Nashville Barrel Company. Mike, thank you for the Whitmeyers.
Yep.
That was really good. So, we'll see you guys. I don't know are we doing a live stream next week? Because there's Whiskey 6 next week.
Oh, yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
Yet to be determined. And until next time, see you next time.